This is of course one of my favorite student results, 12 across the board, and this just shows you what is possible. This student studied with our CELPIP 15-hour course, and in 3 days of study, these are the marks the student got. Now, if you want marks like these, you can first of all check out our course in the description, but also you want to stay tuned because today's lesson is an important one. It's on CELPIP Writing. Basic to advanced words and phrases that you should remember that'll boost your CLB scores. We're going to get into it right away, as we always do on this channel. Basic words, and here we're not just talking about the words that I am just picking up from any word list. These are the things you use in task 1 and 2. And today's entire lesson is based on things people actually use in tasks 1 and 2. For example, this is good, this is bad. These have benefits like task 2. These have disadvantages if you're talking about the opposite option. Very, it's very good, very bad. These words are extremely basic. The moment you write these words, you are screaming at the examiner that you are a basic writer, basic English user. All you got to do is replace them with advanced words and phrases. For example, instead of good, you want to say effective, beneficial, advantageous. Remember also, keep switching this up. If you have used effective already, next line, use advantageous. Next paragraph, use advantageous. If you're saying bad, use detrimental. Detrimental is mainly for something harmful, so it has to be serious. You cannot say my food was detrimental. It has to be something like it's poisoning your health. Ineffective, if it's not good enough, if it's not working, or unfavorable is the best replacement for bad. It goes in every general scenario. Benefits, you can say advantages, positive outcomes, merits. Disadvantages, drawbacks, limitations, shortcomings. Benefits and disadvantages, you can also say pros and cons. They're also really good words to use. And very is something that we use to express something is very bad, very terrible. Instead, use extremely, highly, significantly. Not only are these unique words that are advanced, but also they have lees in them which give you marks for your usage of adverbs. So that's something you can implement right away. Take a screenshot and learn these and implement these. Now, let's get into the connectors, which you obviously will use, and if you are not using them, please, I beg you, use them. It gives you your mark for flow. But we say also a lot. Instead, use something advanced like moreover, likewise, accordingly. These connectors are used when you're changing sentences to a different point or even changing paragraphs. Instead of because, you can say due to the fact that. Instead of so, like don't say so, please never say so. You will lose marks because this is very basic wordings. Say as a result. Perfect for conclusions or going to step 2 after step 1 when you're explaining the cause and effect. Now, let's look at advanced concluding words or phrases that you use in conclusions in the last paragraph, but also you can use them at the end of a paragraph when you're summing up one point. In conclusion is what we usually say. Instead, you can say to summarize. To end, you can say ultimately, and what ultimately does is once again gives you that mark for the ly, the adverb. The more adverbs you use, the better. Lastly is good. And again, if you're using one adverb, that's great. Now you don't have to say lastly. But if you are forced to say some concluding word at the end, try to replace it with an entire phrase, all things considered. What this does is it adds 3 words now to your connector, so you're showing the examiner your variety. You're not just doing one-worded connectors, you're not just using adverbs or other words, you're using even phrases to convey your idea. You can also use multiple things. You can change this up with the same logic. For example, you could say based on the aforementioned reasons or considering the above. All of them are great words, and you want to give the examiner this variety that drastically helps you improve your marks. Now let's talk about compound sentence upgrades. Okay, what are compound sentences? Before we get into this, let's understand compound sentences because they give you a lot of marks. Compound or complex sentences are sentences that are broken into 2 parts or more. But for simplicity in the CELPIP exam, a sentence should not really be broken into more than 2 parts. If you do it effectively, it's good. If you don't, if you mess it up after doing the 3 clauses, you're making it super complex, which you don't need. 2 clauses are enough. Here's what I mean. I'm going to go outside and work out, but I'm not sure what time I'm going to come back. So the thing I said before and after but is a clause, and I have two clauses here, which makes this a complex sentence. You have simple things like but and, that's why, and you can imagine we use them in the middle of sentences, but you can also use some compound words at the start of sentences, which I have not listed here because they already are advanced words. For example, you could say while. If I say while, I can start with clause number 1, put a comma, and then put clause number 2. While it's really hot outside today, comma, I will still go and jog. Or another example would be due to. Due to, if I start my sentence with this, I'm going to say, due to the fact that I am not feeling so well right now, comma, I'll probably not go outside for a run. That's clause number 2. So you can do compound sentences this way, and you can also use but and that's why in the middle, so you don't have to make the compound start, you can make the compound middle part and still have the two clauses. Either way is fine. This, however, is very common. This is what students do all the time. And in this video, I want to cover the practical situations which students go through. And what we do commonly see is usage of words like but, and that's why every time in the middle of sentences. So instead of that, simply replace but with however. Now, even better than however is nevertheless. Why is this better? It's because but is the most common. However is the second most common. So it is still better than but because it's low frequency, but nevertheless is so unique I rarely see it. That's what makes it more advanced. Same thing goes with something like nonetheless. The more unique and low frequency a word is, the more marks you will get. Instead of and, you can say furthermore, more advanced. There's so many variations of that. You can use a lot of really advanced connectors like accordingly, likewise, on top of that, what's more, needless to say, so many. But if you want a quick fix, quick replacement, instead of and, say furthermore. Instead of that's why, you can say consequently, hence, thereby. Now, these are not big concluding words or phrases that finish up a conclusion. These are really ideal for finishing an ongoing point or putting this at the end of a body paragraph. For our final slide, we're going to look at the common phrases that you will definitely use at the start of task 1 and 2 and the better replacements. So a lot of you say, I'd like to. That is you expressing the purpose in task 1 when you're starting. It is absolutely basic if you say, I would like to. Instead, use words like, I'm writing to, and then express my whatever is next based on the topic. Interest in your program, requests regarding the accommodation, concern regarding the unsanitary environment in your restaurant. Now, that is really advanced, better than I'd like to, but instead of I am writing, instead of this phrase, you can further step it up a notch. You can say, I am reaching out to inform you about, and then add whatever that about is, about my interest, my request, my concern regarding. And that's a super good way to establish a good first impression. Very handy for formal emails when you have to start the first paragraph with the purpose. In task 2, when you're picking options and you say something like, I think this is the better option. This, I think, is so basic. Instead, say, in my view, in my perspective, in my opinion. This alternative is more practical, viable. Now, alternative, you will put the option here. This option 1, this apartment choice, this business decision, whatever it is more practical, viable. Use good words here. Don't just say it is better, it is good. Use practical, viable, it's economically beneficial, it is going to be a bliss for the medical world, for the scientific community, stuff like that that is relevant to the topic and it's advanced. It's not just something simple like good, bad. And that is our lesson today. Make sure you use these advanced words and phrases to boost your CLB score. And if you have any doubt as to where you stand right now in writing, send us your writing. Our email is in the description. We'll give you a free assessment, 1 per person for free. Please like, share, and subscribe as well. Really appreciate it. Take care.